This is WMBD News on the Record.
Good evening and welcome to WMBD News on the Record. I'm Cameron Main. It's where local leaders get candid and big issues get broken down on the record. Peoria Public Schools needs to find a new superintendent, as Dr. Karat will be stepping down at the end of the school year. The school board recently approved the search firm From the Heart to help find superintendent candidates. But the firm choice caused some outrage from members of the community. We have Vice President of the school board, Paris McConnell, in the studio with us. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So what happened? How did we get here? How did this become, an issue? Because this is usually a non-controversial part of the process.
It can be. I think anytime a public entity is looking at bids for a firm, be it construction or for even a search firm, you have difference of opinions. I think our process was clean. Well, I know that our process was clean. We disagreed. I wanted a firm out of Chicago because it made more financial sense. They were easy access. There wouldn't be too much with travel costs with them coming. Most of the board, four of my fellow board members wanted a company out of Texas, and two other members wanted a local state, the Illinois State School Board, a association. I didn't like that option because we already work with them. Mm-hmm. They are mainly in charge of training, enhancing board function, support to the superintendent and to all schools.
Right.
So I didn't feel like they would be the best choice because there could be biases because they work with all schools in the state of Illinois.
Right.
I thought it needed to be not that agency, but a firm that has a rich history in superintendent search, experience, and has an outstanding record.
Right.
In doing so, which was BWP. Mm-hmm. From the Heart firm, I like what they offered. I like their proposal. It just, for the cost, I didn't think it was cost effective.
Do you know how much it was going to cost?
I don't know that we're able to disclose that.
Right.
But it was more.
More. And
considerably more than the search firm.
So was it the fact that it was a Texas firm that made it more appealing to some of the people that did vote for it? Perhaps.
And I don't know, of course, in our, discussion that was at the Horseshoe, I don't know that they really explained why they supported that. In a few private conversations, they explained that that was their choice. And that's the thing about serving on a board. There's 7 people mm-hmm. with different ideas, different benchmarks. And the goal is for us to come to an agreement.
Right. And you did get to an agreement. It was voted
a majority vote.
Yes.
And that is our firm, and that's who we will work with.
And so there's been some comments about it. There's been basically some online comments about some board members are connected to this. There's kind of this whole connection to it.
That, in terms of the search firm itself, no. But the company or one of the proprietors in the search firm mm-hmm. Has a program called Black History 360, which is one of our curriculum plans. Right. And so I believe the relationship has been misconstrued.
Oh, okay. Just very quickly, some people are obviously concerned and worried about this. What would you say to the community right now to make them feel, probably a little bit better about the choice, or, people that weren't happy with it?
What I would say to our community is we are elected officials representing the interest of our parents, our students, and our community. And I welcome feedback. I have a ton of emails from people leading up to the vote, mm-hmm. Saying what their opinion is. And I receive those, I take it seriously, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the 7 people sitting at the horseshoe. What I also feel that sometimes community people want to control or either micromanage everything that a board does. It happens with city council, it happens with the school board, with the park district, and I think we need to be respectful. And that's what I've consistently say. You can have a difference of opinion, but you should not attack someone's character just because they disagree.
Right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that's disingenuous. It's childish, and it's not the behavior of intellectual people who care about our, community.
Yeah.
And some people have resorted to talking about individuals. I'm sure they've said things about me. That's their opinion and they're entitled to it. And you can share your opinion. You just ought not be disrespectful. You should not attack people's character and things like that, because we all have something about us that's favorable and maybe not so favorable. And what I won't do and what I will never do is get engaged with a person on pettiness.
All right, sweet. That's great to hear. Thank you so much for giving your side of the story and explaining it. Well, coming up next, we have your local weather. Stay tuned.
You're watching WMBD News on the Record.
Welcome back. Continuing our coverage of the school board vote that approved the superintendent search firm From the Heart, we have a community member who has openly criticized the board's decision, and he's also running for the school board in 2026. Doug Shannon is here in the studio with us. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Cameron.
So how did we get here? What happened?
Well, sure. The most important decision that a board will typically undertake is the hiring of a superintendent. And what many in the community feel like is that much of what has been done to select the search firm that will assist them has been a little bit obscured.
Right, okay. And so what is the issue then with From the Heart?
Yeah, so on the meeting on August 11th, there was a motion that was narrowly passed to table a presumptive election of them as the search firm. The problem with that being is, well, how did 7 members of the board get to a presumptive nominee for that position without having debate and discussion?
Right.
Which, from the Open Meetings Act, that would be problematic.
Right. So the problem is with the transparency. You said they weren't transparent enough.
And then in addition, prior to that meeting where they were going to presumptively vote on it, From the Heart actually went ahead and posted the position prior to that. So the week ahead of that meeting, when they were supposed to be presumptively selected, they were already posting the position.
And so the vote gets tabled. We get to, Monday's meeting, and they voted in From the Heart.
Right.
What was your reaction to that?
Along with most of the other people in the crowd, a little bit surprised. From the Heart is the most expensive bid. They have 0 experience in superintendent search, and they're also one of only 2 of the 6 firms that is not from within the state of Illinois. So, which is of course why their costs are higher.
Right, okay. And so you would have preferred one of the other firms being picked?
Yeah, I think actually Vice President McConnell suggested BWP out of Chicago, a firm with over 800 searches on their record. Members Rose and Wilson preferred the Illinois Association of School Boards, which has done a ton of searches for superintendents in Illinois. They have 9 active searches currently in the state, and again, From the Heart has 0, and their CEO, Dr. Milton, has a checkered past in his role as a superintendent for Flint, Michigan, as well as for Springfield, Illinois.
Right, okay. And talk to me now about some of the, looking into the future with From the Heart. Now it is chosen, now it is going to find candidates.
Yep.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I hope what the board is hearing is that the community is watching and what we do care. And it's all about our kids. It's about the support of the staff and the great programs that Dr. Crott has already instituted, as well as the taxpayers, and making sure that we're providing a great opportunity for our kids. Because public education is a springboard for many people that don't have the opportunities that some of us are afforded.
And one of the things Paris brought up when we were talking to her, she was like, some people, she understands where some people are upset, but it's really important to be respectful, be understanding of board decorum. What's your reaction to that?
Well, the people are going to respond to how the board conducts its business. And there is a speed of trust that is damaged when there's not transparency. And we've seen it both with this issue as well as the way that the board recently implemented clear backpacks and yonder pouches and the calendar. Everything that this board has done the last 3 years has been very, we'll just say, it doesn't pass muster. Everybody's trying to get input into what's happening, and they're not consulting stakeholders. And I hope that the noise that's come from the parents and from the teachers will encourage them to do so in the rest of the search.
And you're mainly hoping that you can get a superintendent, because Karat was very good at what she did.
She's very well liked, yeah.
Yeah, and so are you hoping someone, maybe from the heart will pull through and find someone that, people will like?
Well, member Ross, Martha Ross, made a great point in the board meeting on Monday, which is that it's not the search firm that selects the superintendent, it's the board. The superintendent search firms only provide the candidates. The problem with an inexperienced search firm is that they won't have hundreds of candidates that they've already vetted for other positions. And so our overall concern is just the quality of candidate that we will get going with a completely new search firm.
And just very briefly, what do you think the future of the school board will be like going forward?
Well, I hope that they will just be more transparent and that they will engage their stakeholders in the community. Because all of us that were there on Monday and consistently go to the school board meetings like myself and others, we're there because we care.
All right, sweet. Thank you so much, Doug, for coming on. Really appreciate it. So that was our run through of From the Heart Search Firm. Hope you learned a fair amount. We've got your local sports coming up.